Good evening. This is a special video that I'm making for all the theatre practitioners who are enthusiastically practicing theatre all around the world. 3 years back, I had an interesting encounter with a very entertaining theatre practitioner who gave me a very thought provoking statement. And the statement was that any individual who is engaged in the practice of theatre is engaging in the art for art's sake. There is no responsibility that he necessarily has to shoulder in terms of bringing about any kind of social change. And my answer, my response to this was that, with all due respect, I beg to differ, because in my point of view, theatre practitioner has a very important responsibility of giving the correct message to the society in terms of how to live a better life. And not only that, but he needs to live up to the expectations of the people whom he is trying to give a whole lot of ideas about life, how to live it, and how to practice it in terms of pragmatism and even in terms of emotionalism. I still maintain it after so many years of my experience, my trust with theatre. I would like to just say that as a theatre practitioner, I must be responsible enough to answer my audience why I'm giving them this particular message, whether I'm a playwright, I'm an actor, I'm a director, and whether I sincerely believe in what I'm trying to state is extremely important, is of vital importance in my point of view. Tomorrow, if I make a play and it is a play on maybe Meera, and I disown the responsibility of giving you any kind of message through my play, and I just say that I've done it for an artistic purpose. Of course, the most important goal of any good theatre performance is definitely entertain the audience, regale the audience, no denying the fact. But I also feel that if I do not believe in a subject matter and I do it in front of my audience, I am doing it half-heartedly. Now, this is my point of view, and I always say it in my sessions that it's not necessary that people should agree with it. You may have your own knowledge to display in this regard. You may have your own experiences that talk differently, and I respect them. So there's no point of argument or debate. This is just a personal opinion that I think that as a theatre practitioner, I'm doing it half-heartedly. And the outcome of that half-hearted enterprise is also having an audience that views the performance for the sake of getting entertained, because it knows very well that it has been presented as an artistic endeavor, as a performance, and the idea of delivering an intrinsic moral message through the story of Meera takes a backseat. Now, how does this become evident? I will give you two illustrations. One is when my guru used to perform Meera in front of the audiences, and another person performing Meera in front of the audiences. Now, as an onlooker, as a spectator, I could note the difference. Those that are spectators, we all have been spectators sometime or the other. I'm sure this would make sense. When you're viewing a performance, you as an audience member come to know the depth of the performer in terms of embracing and getting engrossed in the performance. Now, this is very important. When you're doing it for the purpose of regaling the audiences, when you're doing it for the purpose of involving the audience in the performance and enabling them experience the travail of Meera in order to engender an enlightenment, the performance will have those nuances, those aspects ingrained in it, which an audience member will be able to make out. That is why certain artists are worshipped as great artists, and certain artists remain performers. And this is the difference. When you are watching a Kathak performance by Birju Maharaj, what do you feel? The nuances of expression that he brings when he is enacting the role of Krishna. What does he try to import through the performance? Not only the fact that he is there to entertain. It will be an insult. In fact, all of you all will agree. If we call him just a performer who is there to regale the audience, not at all. Artists like Sonal Mansingh and Pandit Birju Maharaj ji, they are all revered in this world because they have set up an example of what divinity an artist can bring in a performance. We have heard Pandit Jasraj more than 1,000,000 times, and we know that he is able to bring the divine essence through his music, and nobody can deny this. So what is that extra element that they are adding? Number one, they are completely engrossed, transported into the realm of the divine when they are connected, when they experience that connection with the art, wherein they absolutely seem to forget that there is an audience that they need to please. That comes much later, and we feel that when we are watching that performance. We feel that the artist is not right now on the material level. He has transported himself to a spiritual plane. When my guru did Kalidasa's work Meghadutam, she still remembers till date that in the winter season it started raining, and it came in the papers that it was because of this particular performance, Ashadha Varse Prathama Divse. So there were artists in India who used to bring divinity on earth. We know this about Sangeet Samrat Tansen, who brought the princess to life, the dying princess to life, when he sang the beautiful song, the raga, Deepak Raga. And then of course we know the story of Tana Riri, who sang the Megh Malhar so that the drops of the rain could pacify the angst, the fire burning in Tansen, because he sang the Deepak Raga. So India has such fascinated stories of artists who have set up this inspiring illustration in front of us that art is not just an material artistic practice. It is much more than that. You are transported into the world of the divine when you worship your art, and you regard it much more than just an enterprise made to secure your name, fame and money. And at the same time, these artists are well aware of the fact that they are there so that the audience may enjoy a performance. So there is never a dearth of entertainment. So for me, a performing artist is one who understands that how one needs to treat art as a sacred enterprise. And this doesn't mean that you do only Indian classical art. Any form of art. This stands true for any form of art, because we know that inspiration of the muse is a concept that is famous among artists all around the world. So whether I am a dancer dancing maybe hip hop or jazz, or maybe Bharatanatyam or Kathak, my goal of performing should be first to be one with my artistic experience, and that brings about the ecstasy in me. I feel delighted, and for the sake of that delighted feeling, I am an artist primarily. Second, I worship my audience because it is for them that I am performing. So that is my second goal, that I need to regale my audience. And then, of course, I need also to benefit from it, materially benefit from it, because this is my profession. So I think about the name, fame, and money. So these three stages in my point of view. And it is extremely important that as an artist, I understand that I'm entitled to answer my audience, that if I'm giving them an upadesha, and that is the reason why many practitioners today, they disown the responsibility of didacticism in art, which I never do. If I'm writing a play, there is a purpose. There is definitely a purpose. And that purpose, I will tell my audience members that I'm writing this play because of this purpose. This play will give you this. And then I give them complete emancipation to decipher different kinds of meanings that they want to. But how can, as an artist, I say that I'm just doing it for the purpose of doing it? I'm doing Shiva Shakti for the purpose